Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. So y'all know that I have some time on my hands. I mean, clearly I can make these type of videos, talk about people on reality TV, and read some books written by reality TV stars or people that have been in the industry in one form or the other. But there is one thing I do not have enough time on my hands for, and that I will never make time for. And that is to harass a teenager online, which is what Janelle Evans has recently done to Marissa Eason. Marissa is Janelle's stepdaughter because that is David's oldest child. And Marissa made a TikTok recently, and she did a trending video. If you are not on TikTok or familiar with TikTok, there is a trend going around where there's a certain background song that you use for the trend, and then you take a picture of yourself for a video. And in quotations, you write, "You're so funny," as if somebody's like telling you that you're so funny, and then you say, "Thanks," and then insert whatever trauma you want to share or expose. But Marissa wins the whole damn trend, if you ask me. So Marissa's decided to join, and hers said that she was raised on the land by that one chick. If you know, you know. This set Janelle off. I mean, truthfully, what Janelle should do is just block Marissa, Kinley Heatwell, who is David's current girlfriend, or anybody that's even affiliated, associated, whatever you want to say, with David. That would be the mature thing to do. But that's not what Janelle's going to do. Of course, she's going to look at all of the stuff that they post so she can try to find an issue with it, try to turn it against them, try to make herself into a victim, make it look like David's harassing her, whatever she can possibly do to make herself look like the victim, as she always does. So first, Janelle was like on TikTok Live and was talking about Marissa and how she posted that video or whatever, and was basically like, you know, blowing it off, wasn't going to show any attention to it. Like, basically, if that's what Marissa felt, then that's what she felt. But privately, she decided to message Marissa, and the Ashley has broken down everything for us. And to make it easier, I'm just going to go ahead and read the Ashley article. But this truly shows how unhinged Janelle is. I will link the Ashley article below as well if you want to go ahead and take a look at it for yourself. But it says, Janelle Evans' threatening message to former stepdaughter Marissa, "You're a broken girl." Janelle is not happy with her former stepdaughter Marissa, and in a private message sent to Marissa by Janelle, the fired Teen Mom star threatens to start a social media war with the 17-year-old. As you do in adulthood. Duh. During a TikTok Live, Janelle, who mind you is 33 years old, recently addressed a joke posted on TikTok by Marissa, in which Marissa, who is the daughter of Janelle's soon-to-be ex-husband, David Eason. But is he, though? Because she filed a bed and board divorce, didn't meet the qualifications for said divorce, so it got dismissed back in August, the month, not her recent ex-boyfriend, Augustine, but in the month of August of 2024, her bed and board divorce was dismissed. So now I wonder, like, what is she gonna file for this time? Like, it just seems like a run around the bushes, in my opinion, because I think her and David are gonna end up back together. That's my theory. I'm still convinced of that. But anyways, her soon-to-be ex-husband, we'll go along with that, poked fun at being raised on the land by Janelle. Although Janelle brushed the joke off while on TikTok on Wednesday, while live on TikTok on Wednesday, her private response to Marissa, which was exposed on X or Twitter by David's current girlfriend, Kinley Heatwell, which I love it. Keep airing it out between Kinley and Augustine and Nathan Griffith. Just keep airing her ass out because she is focused on the wrong things. Like, instead of focusing attention on Marissa and what Marissa is posting on social media, focus on what's going on in your own damn house. Because sources told me that Jace just got into a physical altercation at school. Supposedly, he started the altercation by going up to some other guy and wanting to lay the first hit. And I heard it was a very bad fight, and that the video is going around the school. And that basically, like, he ragdolled Jace through this whole damn classroom while people just stood by and watched. But I'm sure that Janelle's not going to address this or address the fact that she has uprooted her kids from where they were big fish in a small pond to now being freaking minnows in a whole sea. Because there is no way that they are fitting in very well in Las Vegas, considering how different of a culture it is from North Carolina to Las Vegas. She should be focusing more on her own children, but we know that she can't be bothered by that. So, of course, she has to attack Marissa. But anyways, so David's current girlfriend, Kinley, shared the response, and it was anything but joking, with Janelle calling Marissa a broken girl, among other things. Because Janelle is in the authority to tell people who's broken and who's not, apparently. During her live, Janelle went on to actually credit Marissa for staying in touch with her younger sister, Inslee, since Janelle moved to Las Vegas. Well, you pawned Inslee off enough on Marissa for her to babysit her and to basically be like a second mother to her. So I can see why she would stay in touch with Inslee. She's probably also very concerned about Inslee, considering Marissa had to live through the House of Horrors on the land, and now it's just a new House of Horrors in Las Vegas, because Janelle is the common denominator. The problems follow her because she is the problem. Moving on, though. So she says, "I've been really nice to Marissa," Janelle said. "I didn't know there was anything wrong between us." Really? After everything you put that girl through? You don't think that she harbors any sort of resentment towards you? It's whatever. Little kids are gonna talk shit. You know what I'm saying? So now you're also gonna be condescending too. Okay. Well, publicly, Janelle seemed to be unfazed by Marissa's jab. It did apparently bother her, as she allegedly sent the 17-year-old a private message bashing her for not being grateful for everything Janelle did for her. And true narcissism. Yeah. Of course she did. Janelle also threatened to escalate a TikTok back and forth with Marissa if she didn't stop posting. What a mature way to handle all of this. On X, or Twitter, David's girlfriend, Kinley, posted the message that Marissa allegedly received from Janelle, which says, "You've got jokes? Me too. It's sad. You are a broken girl and addicted to your dad's love after what he did to you." This is just taking me back to that blind item that was going around that Kyle Marissa Roth shared, and then delusional. I just used her nickname, sorry. Then Janelle went off the rails because Kyle alluded that the blind item was about her. And the way that she went off the rails made me wonder if there was some truth to that. And I still think that Janelle is going to try to make it seem like it was all on David, his idea, his plan, because she wants to make it seem like she was such a battered woman when she was with him. No, she wasn't. It's very clear that she is the aggressor and she is the abuser, and that she comes up with some really twisted things to make her children endure. So for her to try to say, like, after what he did to you, again, her just trying to pin everything onto David and wipe her hands clean as if she did nothing wrong for all those years. She ends it with, "I'll pray for you. I did everything for you, and you never even said thank you one time for me raising you, buying you everything you wanted and anything you ever needed, and gave you a roof over your head. If you want to match at this TikTok game, we certainly can, and I'll tag you." Girl, you used to bribe Marissa with stuff. So you can't be like, "Oh, after everything I did and anything I bought for you, blah, 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 blah." You literally bribed her. So back in 2019, when the kids were removed from the land because David had unalived Nugget, the French bulldog. So all the kids were taken off the land. And Marissa decided to give court testimony. Now, she was told that she would be safe, that she wouldn't have to go back to their house if she went on the stand and she gave a testimony. And she did. It's very gut-wrenching to listen to her testimony. And in it, she had talked about one of the things that David would do when he would be mad was rip off a screen door. And then David and Janelle decided to go on their online platforms and basically make fun of Marissa and like poke fun at her testimony that was very traumatic for her to do. And they thought it was all, fun and games. And they said that they never had a screen door or a storm door on their house. So back when I was doing a lot of TikTok coverage of her, I was taking segments from the show and I was splicing her segments together and giving commentary. And in it, I was pointing out the screen door. Because after they decided to go publicly and try to do that, to shame Marissa for her testimony like that, that wasn't going to fly. At least not with me. And I don't care if there's a ton of people that see my stuff or like barely any. As long as I'm bringing awareness to it, that's all that matters to me. But the fact of the matter is that there was a screen door. And in some scenes, the screen door is on the house. And in other scenes, the screen door is off the house and like laying against the house. So her testimony wasn't a lie. But after she gave that testimony and everything, she really didn't want to have to go around David and Janelle. They started bribing her with stuff. Especially like if she would take care of the younger kids. They would get her stuff to either A, keep her mouth shut, or B, be a parent to those children so they could go and do whatever the hell they were doing. So that's interesting that Janelle wants to throw that in her face, knowing that there was strings attached to those things that she was providing to Marissa. And the roof over the head thing is even more wild because of everything that she had going on under said roof. Not only that, but Marissa and Jace, word on the curb, from sources, from my own discernment, were having to share a room together on the land for a very long time. And I'm getting ahead of myself because we're going to get into what Janelle did to Marissa here in a second because he actually covers it. But please keep that in mind as we keep going, that Marissa had a room, but she was made to share with Jace for a long time until March of 2024. And that's exactly what we're going to get into now because this isn't the first time Janelle has insinuated that Marissa is ungrateful for the life on the land that Janelle provided. Back in March 2024, Janelle opened up about her relationship, or lack thereof, with Marissa. She refuses to talk to any of us. And I wonder why. Janelle wrote during an Instagram Q&A, I swear that she asks herself those questions in the Q&As. Like, nobody can convince me otherwise. I swear that's her asking her own questions so she can, like, give her rhetoric and her narrative to the public to manipulate people. Because somehow, some way, she still has supporters. I don't get it. But anyway, she's always been distant, and I just don't think I was ever looked at as her stepmom. By the way, I was always disrespected so much by my ex, David. I feel like she wanted to feel the same way her dad did towards me. Very prideful. I think that she's projecting herself there. Because if we've seen anybody go after anyone, it's her going after anybody and everybody that she can. Like, Janelle is the one that always is starting the problems. It's like she wants to light the match and light the fire and then walk away and be like, what just happened? How'd that happen? I didn't do that. Somebody else did it. It wasn't me. Why am I being blamed for it? As the Ashley previously reported, Janelle booted Marissa from the land in early 2024 after David left to go on the couple's broken down boat. Janelle informed the then 16-year-old that she could no longer live on the land because she needed Marissa's room to accommodate Jace. whom Janelle had recently regained custody of, and then ended up moving with the kids to Las Vegas shortly after she kicked Marissa out. So, if y'all remember back when that home was first put on the swamp, or the land, and Janelle is giving a tour to Barbara, and they go upstairs. She's like, yeah, this is where my office is going to be. This is where Jace's room is going to be. And then it was either going to be Marissa or Kaiser's room, or maybe a guest room upstairs. But I know there was going to be 2 bedrooms and an office upstairs. Never been finished. Never been completed to this damn day. So, what I have been told and what I believe is that Marissa and Jace were forced to share a bedroom together. And so she kicks Marissa out, so then Jace would finally have his own room. Although she told other people that Kaiser and Jace were sharing a room, that isn't actually what was happening behind those closed doors. If only those walls could talk, honey. Marissa was sent to live with her mother and stepfather, something that angered David and contributed to the couple finally splitting up. I also heard that the reason why they split up is because of the conversations that were being had between David and Whitney, who is Marissa's mom. And so some of those messages were like leaked about a year ago or so. And he was basically like shit talking Janelle. So those text messages, coupled with him going out to the bars instead of just sitting around on the boat, those are the reasons why Janelle left David. She said in her court paperwork it was because of his mistreatment of the animals, which if that was the case, she would have actually left him back in 2019 when she did temporarily to go to Tennessee. Promised Kaiser that he was going to be safe and he was going to be protected and that he could finally speak openly about what he had to go through while living with David and Janelle. All for her to go back to him. So that was not the reason why she left. And she didn't leave him because of what he did to Jace, because she was defending him after all that. She was throwing Jace under the bus. Jace was the problem. It wasn't David. He's safe. Kids feel safe with him. But as soon as they are forced to separate because he could not be in the same house as Jace, and they even tried that little break-in attempt to try to get him to be able to come back, that still didn't work. So he was not allowed in that house. So since he was not allowed in that house, she kicked out Marissa and then claimed that Jace needed a room, when in reality, she was already forcing him to share a room and never made those accommodations for him beforehand. She pisses me off so much, because how are you going to have that house built, and that was like your main point, was to have a room for each kid, but then you don't even give the kid that you claim that you want so badly to be living with you, you don't even make accommodations for him to have a room? Anyways, so speaking of David, Janelle just recently threatened him with more legal action. Of course she did. There is nothing that gives her more of a high than pressing charges against somebody, being in court, being able to be away from her kids and leave them in Las Vegas while she goes all the way to North Carolina. She will find all the reasons to keep having court dates because she loves the attention and she likes to feel like she has some sort of like control or some sort of authority over somebody else, especially if she wins. It's very, very twisted. But she's threatened him with more legal action as she felt that Marissa posting about her and Kinley reposting it was essentially David harassing her through them. She wants him to harass her. That's what it is. She's upset because he's just out living his life and she wishes that he was like blowing her up, trying to get a hold of her, when she should be focused on all of her cases going on in Nevada now, honey, because August, whose name is Daniel Miranda, he has already went and filed like protective orders and stuff against her. And he is out airing her all the way out too. So she should maybe focus her attention on what's happening in the city that she's living in right now, rather than so focused on North Carolina. David is currently legally restricted from harassing Janelle due to a restraining order she has against him. If she could prove this was him harassing her, then it would indeed be a violation of the restraining order she has against David. I mean, if you want to catch another violation charge for third-party harassment, be my guest, David. She tweeted that and very quickly deleted it on her Twitter, probably because she felt like an idiot making those assumptions that he's trying to harass her through Marissa or Kinley, which I don't think so. No. She's not important enough for them to harass. Anyway, Marissa seemed to respond to Janelle's message on Wednesday. She posted herself lip-syncing to Megan Maroney's song, Bless Your Heart, specifically the lyrics. No chance you'd say it to my face. Go hate somebody else. I'm kind of busy if you can't tell. Yes, Marissa. She ain't standing for it. And I am supporting her because all she did was a video trend. It's not like she tagged Janelle in it or anything. Although apparently that's what Janelle wants. She wants to have some sort of TikTok war with a 17-year-old. How pathetic. Like, seriously, you've got to be an unhinged person to want to do that. But not only did she share that message publicly or privately, which ended up being aired out publicly, so she had to do some sort of damage control. I'm sure that somebody told her, like, your stuff was leaked. You need to backtrack somehow. So she decided to put up a whole montage of photos of Marissa and shared this message. We miss you, Marissa. Hope this gets to you. But I'm very happy to see the young woman you have grown into. I've watched you grow up, raised you, and saw you blossom. I'm happy to see you graduated high school. And we talked recently about nursing school. Hope that's going well. I've always wanted the best for you. And make sure you stay focused and not let others steer you in unnecessary directions. She had a ghostwriter for this shit. This is not her words whatsoever. Have your own opinion and don't be influenced by others. Sounds like Caitlin and Tyler with how they feel about Carly. Like, there's no way that these teenagers are making their own minds up on who they feel comfortable with or uncomfortable with. It's definitely the parents brainwashing them. One day, I went to see you traveling as much as we always did. And you were able to do that because she was watching your kids for you. Anyway, we miss you and we'll always be here if you need someone to talk to or if you need to get away. Girl, she wants to get away from you. There is not enough miles separated between y'all right now for her to get away from you because clearly you still have found a way to want to harass her. And she doesn't even have to live with you anymore. How sad. Hashtag family first. Hashtag stepdaughter. Hashtag happy graduation. We'll give her an A for effort. A for effort for trying to backpedal what she truly said to Marissa. Because what you're saying publicly, especially from her, we all know is a lie or a manipulation tactic. What you said to her privately is how you truly feel. She is the common denominator. The problems are always going to follow her because she is the problem, like I have already said. I don't know how people still support her when she does stuff like this. She publicly makes herself look like a fool over and over and over again. There is no redemption arc. And I feel bad for her kids that have to live in that constant cycle of chaos and instability and trauma. It's very sad. But since she always is giving somebody some content to create, I know I'll be back with some more content about her. That's just the latest news. So I hope to see you on the next one.